What should potential first-time DACA applicants do now that we have the DACA Supreme Court decision? Stay tuned to learn more. First off, what do you need in order to be eligible to apply for an initial DACA application? The first requirement is you need to be under the age of 31 as of the 15th of June, 2012. That requirement is pretty straightforward. You can calculate how old you are right now and then calculate how old you were in 2012. The second requirement is that you must have came to the US before you turned 16. So if you were brought here as a baby or brought here as a toddler, that's fine. There is no problem. The third requirement is that you have to prove that you have been continuously residing in the US since June 15th, 2007 up until now. The fourth requirement is that you have to show you were physically present in the US on the 15th of June 2012 and at the time that you were making your DACA request, which would be when you file it. The fifth requirement is that you had no lawful status on the 15th of June 2012. The sixth requirement, you're currently in school, you've graduated or obtained a certificate of completion from high school, or you have your GED, or you've been honorably discharged from the Coast Guard or Armed Forces of the US, and you've not been convicted of a felony significant misdemeanor or 3 or more other misdemeanors and do not otherwise pose a threat to national security or public safety. So what I want to add to this is that right now with the DACA decision, for people that are thinking that, hey, I may be eligible or I think I'm eligible, what should I do? The safest thing right now is to not submit your DACA application. And the reason I say that is at the moment, we don't have any new guidance from USCIS. There is a risk. If you submit your DACA application, a few things could happen. One, it could be accepted, but then denied. If you submit it, it could be rejected. And if it's denied, you could be given a notice to appear, which means you could be placed in removal proceeding. And the reason that USCIS would deny it or reject it is because at the moment, there is no guidance as to how they are going to process initial applications, if at all they're going to do it. It could very well happen that right now, in the next week, the next month, the Trump administration could say, hey, we are going to do away with DACA, but right now we're going to do it the right way. And if that were to happen, USCIS may say, hey, we're not accepting new DACA applications because of the order from the administration. Since those are possibilities and since there's a risk of submitting the new applications, what is recommended to do right now is if you think you're eligible, should speak with an attorney or with a nonprofit in your area that you trust. On top of that, you should start accumulating proof that you meet these requirements for DACA. So things like your birth certificate, things like, proof of ID, license, things like that, passport, if you have them, as well as school records, documents that prove you have been here in the US. If you are, a young person, your school records, diplomas, if you graduated, things like that. Additionally, if you have now graduated, if you're going to college, if you're going to the university, transcripts, those records that show that you are attending. Additionally, if you are not attending school, or if you have a bank account, that would still be helpful to have because it shows that, you have monthly statements, you've been making deposits, withdrawals, etc. And it shows, like you made a withdrawal, you made a deposit here in California, you made a purchase at this city in this state, which proves you are here in the US. Additionally, if you have, rent lease, if you have mortgage, that is also helpful to show you are here in the US. If you've gotten any traffic tickets, if you have any rent deposit, any rent receipts, that's also helpful. Pay stubs as well. That shows, in working, you get a pay stub for a company, for a person, and that person is located here in whatever state you live in. It shows you've been working with them, you've been going to work, this is how many hours you work, you were working in that state, thus you have been in the US, and that's also helpful proof to have. In terms of the proof, there is no set, you must have this type of proof. Every case is different. Some people may have more of one type of document as opposed to another. A common example is, for instance, let's say you already graduated high school and you are 27. From high school, from 18 up until 27, you probably, if you weren't in school, you might have been working, you might have been renting, things like that. So your proof is going to be different from someone who has just been going to school. If you've just been going to school, I mean, you probably don't have a bank account. You probably don't have pay stubs. You probably don't have a rent agreement, things like that. Nonetheless, you could still show you have been in the US with your school record. The other person, yeah, they're going to have their school records, but they're also going to have other records. So what I would say is just think about, what type of evidence, what type of proof can I show that I've been here in the US that shows that I've been here. If you went to the doctor and you have like a receipt that you paid for a visit, things like that that show you were here can be used to support your DACA application. There may be some people who, even in light of the potential risk, feel that, it's worth the risk that they want to apply. For those individuals, I would say that you should speak with an attorney just because the risks are so high. If they reject it or if they accept and deny it, you are opening basically a can of worms because there is a high risk of being placed in removal proceedings. If that happens and you lose, you will be removed, you will be deported. So definitely speak with an immigration attorney to help you weigh your options and help you with that process. If you want to see more videos on this topic, or if this video has been helpful, let me know by giving me a like. So yes, the best step forward right now, the most recommended step to take is wait for guidance from USCIS. Start gathering your documents, start gathering your proof so that you're ready and you're prepared. We do get good guidance from USCIS on accepting new applications. You're ready. Additionally, this also prevents you, it eliminates the risk of you getting a notice to appear, getting placed in removal proceedings, and it's the safest option right now. So you don't need to account for every single day, every single month. I doubt it's going to be possible to have some sort of proof, some sort of receipt that, hey, you were present on January 1st, you were present on January 2nd, you were present on January 3rd. I don't think that's going to be really possible to do. I mean, for some people, it may be. And it may be that you have some year-old calendar and you have the information included there. This is what you did on this day. This is what you did on this day. It's doubtful, but point being, USCIS doesn't require you to have day by day, month by month proof that you were here. If there's glaring discrepancies, if there's glaring holes, pockets of holes of dates, then that might be an issue. But for like your school records, I mean, that's going to be solid proof. I would say just keep that in mind as well. I hope you learned something from this video. If you did, please let me know down below. Subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you and God bless.